I offered you an invitation to come on a Lent journey with me. If you're reading this, or watching it, or coming to our Zoom meeting on a Thursday lunchtime, then happily you have accepted my invitation. You weren't coerced, forced, or tricked into accepting. You've signed up by your own free will. And according to Hannah in her book Living His Story, this is what evangelism is. Simply offering an invitation to come and see. For the next 6 weeks, I'm going to draw my thoughts and experiences of living his story into some kind of coherence here on this blog. This week, we start at the beginning with chapter 1. And what I was immediately struck by was our deep need to be part of a bigger story. My own upbringing was not Christian. We didn't go to church, but I learned my story from hearing about how I was part of something bigger, my family. There were stories that were funny, like the time my mum and my grandma pushed me around the south of France in my Dolly's buggy because my dad had taken my pushchair to the golf course. Then there were stories that were surprising, like the time as a toddler I approached my grandpa, a very formal man, and permanently softened him with my interest in and childlike love for him. He became part of my story, and I became part of his. As I grew up, though, and life became more complicated, the anchor of family alone didn't provide the stability that I needed to thrive. And I floundered. Those floundering years, though, provided the evidence I needed to be open to something different. With God out of the picture, I had no concept of God at all. I was utterly powerless in the face of my own brokenness. I couldn't fix it. So who were the people who invited me to come and see? What were they like, and how did they do it? There were many over the years. Some, like Grace, would never get to see the results. Grace was our babysitter. She was a Christian. My mum had found her through the local Methodist church. My sister and I adored her. Outside of close family, she was our favourite. She prayed for us and blessed us. The impact she had upon us still reaches us today through her son and his family, who have miraculously, after decades, become part of our story once again. And then there was Anna, who came alongside me to become one of my best friends during the struggles of motherhood. Anna was and is a Christian. Never did she suggest that she had it right and I had it wrong. Not once did she point to my sinfulness, but only showed me the relentless and extravagant love of Jesus. Sometimes that was in the form of a massive chocolate muffin and a cappuccino delivered to my door when my world was falling apart. Sometimes it was accompanying me on a Hindu meditation course. And one time it was the sending of a Bible verse that changed my life forever. Not a single invite, prayer, or word about Jesus will ever be wasted. 2 very ordinary women evangelists have changed my life forever. They invited me to come and see in a gentle and subtle way. They met me right where I was. Anna spoke of her struggles and journeyed with me in mine. Grace modelled holiness so attractive that it stayed with me permanently. Many of us feel that over the years, our efforts to evangelise have not been fruitful. But can I encourage you? Our efforts often bear visible fruit. It's just we aren't around to see it. When I accepted Jesus' invitation, I experienced a change that pervaded everything. I'd gone from a fearful, lost soul to knowing that I was loved, forgiven, and no longer needed to fear death. I had switched stories. Part of this new story is to tell others. And Hannah lists 4 ways that we can do this. Firstly, to tell our own story and how Jesus has made a difference. Secondly, by connecting the gospel to the stories that we see around us. Thirdly, by listening to others and making connections. And fourthly, through prayer and living out the story we have become a part of. Anna and Grace did this for me through the power of Jesus. In partnership with Jesus and other Christians, I can do it too, and so can you.